Hello there and welcome to the Cup That Matters. Let's start with our top story straight away. An Indian Vice Captain Virat Kohli is in news again for his aggressive behavior, only this time it's off the field. Virat, known for his aggression, reportedly lost his cool after the Indian team's training session yesterday as he hurled abuses at a senior sports journalist. When he was later told he had mistaken this particular reporter as someone else, Kohli called one of the journalists and through him apologized for the incident, saying it was a case of mistaken identity. All right, so now let's go across to Shivani Gupta, who's joining us live from Perth. Shivani, it's been a while since the incident took place. Explain to us what really happened and whether there's been any update on it as well. Shivani, if you can hear me, it's been a while since the incident took place. Explain to us what really happened and whether there's been any update on the matter. All right, seems like Shivani can't hear us at the moment. We'll get back to her as and when the link gets through. Well, ahead of their big game coming up against India at Perth on Friday, West Indies have sounded the warning bugle. The team's leading all-rounder Darren Sammy has said, while India can celebrate Holi on Friday, the Caribbeans will celebrate a win over the men in blue. Here's more.
The battle lines are drawn, and before the first strike, the war of words has started. The West Indies have made it clear that on Friday, when the whole country celebrates Holi, the team from the Caribbean will celebrate a win over India.
India could celebrate the Holi, but we could celebrate a victory.
That's what he likes to do.
And in the centre of this West Indian confidence stands one man, Christopher Henry Gale. A man, a machine, a legend.
Double hundred.
The bad news for India is that Gale has just shrugged off a run of poor form and scored and created a record in the World Cup. The good news is that Gale's back is hurting and the ace striker seems to be in a bit of a bother.
Chris Gale's back been the same for me for the last 3 years, and he continues to turn up and perform for us.
West Indies will also be banking on the pace and bounce of the pitch at Waka. And it won't be a surprise if the Windies unleash their ace pacers on India.
Any fast bowler would be excited about bowling at the Waka. You know, it's one of the quickest wickets in the world.
On paper and in terms of recent form, Dhoni should win this one easily. But the conditions in Perth and Gale's form say anything could happen on Friday.
The match against India at Perth is crucial for the Windies. Their quarter-final hopes depend on this match. It will be their 5th match out of 6 in group stages, and they've only won 2 out of those. So they're gung-ho to come out, bring their A game against India. They feel India might be the world champions and might have dominated the pool so far, but they can also have an off day.
With Shivani Gupta in Perth, Sports Bureau headlines today.
All right, let's now once again go back to Shivani Gupta, who joins us live from Perth. Shivani, what's the latest that you have on the training session of the Indian cricket team? Any fitness concerns ahead of the big game coming up on Friday?
The only fitness concern that remains, Himanshu, is of Mohammad Shami. Now, yesterday the team had quite a relaxed yet intensive practice session at Murdoch University ground, just about 20 minutes from the Waka where I'm standing right now. And what the media manager told us was that the decision on Mohammad Shami will be taken today, a day before they hold their final practice session tomorrow at the Waka. So it's interesting to see that they won't wait till the final practice session tomorrow. Something on Mohammad Shami, whether he's available for selection for this match, should be available to the media very, very soon. Apart from that, of course, we're expecting Duncan Fletcher to join the squad today as well after attending his father-in-law's funeral. Indian team did not practice, will not practice today. They're taking a day off. Of course, here at the Waka where I'm standing, Australia play Afghanistan today here in Perth. So the teams are taking a day off, both West Indies and India, and they're going to have their final practice session tomorrow together with their media interactions before the big game on Friday, which is extremely crucial for various reasons, for different reasons for both teams, as we've just told our viewers.
Right, Shivani, of course, India have had a great start in the World Cup, but this mercurial West Indies team can truly prove to be tricky for the Indians.
That's right. You can never take the Windies lightly. We've already seen in the tournament, in the 4 matches that they've played so far, what they can do. They can have a great day or they can have a poor day, but you can't depend on them, you know, having a poor day or struggling. Especially here at the Waka, they're, I think, going to be very, very optimistic about their chances. India hasn't been troubled so much because they've managed to put on big scores. Their bowling unit has performed together. Somebody from the batting order has put their hands up. But what the West Indies feel is that they have the firepower in their lineup to trouble the defending champions. They have the likes of Gale, Marlon Samuels, Darren Sammy. They have the likes of Kemar Roach, Taylor in their bowling lineup as well. And here at the Waka, with pacey and bouncy conditions, they feel they can give the Indians a run for their money. It's not going to be easy though, because Indians are playing a very settled and a very consistent game. And they're very confident, quietly confident about what they're doing so far, the way their campaign is going so far.
Right, Shivani, stay with us. I'll come back to you in a bit. While two-time World Cup winner Brad Hogg believes the Indian team has emerged as the most consistent of the lot in the World Cup so far. Listen in to what he had to say on the Indian team ahead of their upcoming game on Friday in his exclusive interview with Shivani Gupta.
The only consistent team that we've seen so far is India. They dominated South Africa and they dominated Pakistan, and obviously they played UAE where we're expected them to win. So India against the West Indies, if they dominate the West Indies here at the Waka on Friday night, well, India are moving into those finals as the favourites for my liking, because they're the team that have been most consistent in the early stages of this World Cup.
All right, so on to the big game coming up today. Australia will take on winners of Afghanistan in their Pool A match at Perth later today. While the Aussies will be keen to get their slow campaign back on track, Afghanistan will look to build on their first ever World Cup win. The Aussies are yet to win after their comprehensive thrashing of England in the World Cup opener. Their match against Bangladesh was washed out while they were beaten by the Kiwis in the cliffhanger at Auckland last week. Pat Cummins has been ruled out of the game after he picked up a niggle in Auckland. Afghanistan, on the other hand, will be keen to continue with the winning momentum after their win over Scotland. But they will also be concerned about running into a keyed-up Aussie outfit determined to put their narrow loss behind them. The game is scheduled for a 12 noon start at Perth. All right, so let's now once again go back to Shivani, who joins us live from Perth. Shivani, what's the latest on the two camps? Any fitness concerns ahead of the big game coming up today?
Well, the other major fitness concern, as you mentioned, Pat Cummins, carrying a niggle, and that's a cause of concern for Australia. I can tell you that, before this match, when Michael Clarke spoke to the media, he spoke at length about the schedule and how it is difficult, especially for fast bowlers, to recover because they're traveling soon after the matches to different cities, travel, between Australia, New Zealand, and even inside Australia takes quite a bit of time. So he talked about how recovery is a crucial issue for them, and not just for the bowlers, for Clarke himself. He came back in the last match. It wasn't a great outing for him. He called their batting horrendous, and he is also keen to, can kind of get that momentum under his belt, get into the tournament properly, and then start contributing to Australia's matches. No major concerns for them, yes, because, Australia does have a pace battery in Johnson and Stark as well, who both did extremely well. Not so much Johnson in the last match, but they have the bench strength. This one will be key for Australia to get their stop-and-go campaign back on track. They need momentum under their belt. They are, before the New Zealand match, they hadn't played for a while, and then to lose a cliffhanger like that against New Zealand, they need wins under their belt. Right now, they're behind Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, and the others in the pool as well. So they quickly need to climb the ladder, so to say, in Pool A.
Right, Shivani, how crucial will the pitch, the conditions, and the toss be, considering the match is going to be held at Perth?
Oh, absolutely. Any match at Perth, Himanshu, the pitch conditions come into play. As we've mentioned already several times, pacey and bouncy conditions. Australia is going to relish this and playing against minnows Afghanistan. Of course, they're the outright favourites to extract the maximum because they have the resources to extract the maximum out of this pitch. This is, of course, in a way, home ground for them. They know these conditions much better than anybody else. And other than that, winning the toss and batting first, it's already a theme in this World Cup. It's turned out to be extremely important. The side that bats first and is able to put on a big score is winning most of the matches. Against Afghanistan, though, I doubt if Australia is going to care too much about the toss, but for the fact that they would like to win the toss, bat first, and have their batting lineup get that time in the middle, which they couldn't get against New Zealand.